Hello, my name is Clinton Walker. Welcome to another week's episode of my Trippl3 Cybersecurity Roundup. And in this week's episode, I'll be talking about Ubuntu operating system that's been attacked by DDoS. I'll be talking about the Instructure, which is a learning platform that impacted a lot of universities. And then I'll be talking about Amtrak, the train system that's been hacked. Now, to start off with, I'll go in straight into Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Linux operating system that's been used widely, and it is also known for its robust security. Now, it is said that hacktivist group have claimed that they have taken over and launched an denial of service attack on their system. And what's a denial of service attack? Basically, it's a process by which an attacker flood your website, your system with a lot of requests concurrently to the point where your system cannot cope and cannot respond in time and quickly enough. So it goes halting, taking long to respond. The website that you're on, if it's been attacked, it's slow and it's just there hanging and going in a loop. So that's in essence the simplest term in explaining what a denial of service attack is. Now, this attack group also seem to have compromised the supporting entity that develops and support and maintain the Ubuntu software, and the company is called Canonical, and they've also been impacted. Now, Ubuntu said that the impact here is huge because it compromises their Ubuntu API keys and several Ubuntu websites that were within scope. Now, it also made it impossible for users, businesses, developers to update and install Ubuntu services and software. So what are some of the countermeasures here that could be put in place? Number one, they could harden their Ubuntu service and to reduce their attack surface. So that looks at the attack surface is all the different endpoints or touch points that are exposed to the internet or someone or some tools can have access to. Close open ports, disable unnecessary services that are no longer in use. They can also build what's called a DDoS response recovery plan. And that is similar to a business continuity or disaster recovery plan, whereby they have a playbook, they got the list of contacts, a call tree that they go through with the different people, partners, and services and artifacts that they need to restore systems. They could also implement what's called rate limiting. And in cybersecurity, rate limiting really is around limiting the amount of requests someone can make to a system within a given time frame. So if you have a throughput or a rate of 5 people logging in every hour, you're not going to allow 6 people or more than 5 people. So you limit it and throttle it and monitor those alerts and see where they're coming from and how often they're coming through. So that can reduce and push back on the DDoS attack. The other, that's breach number one. The other breach is the Amtrak breach, which is a train line system in America. It also disclosed that they've been hacked, and the attack group said that they've posted the data online, and it is also been seen on what's called Have I Been Pawned. And the attack group for this one is Shiny Hunters, which is very popular of late in terms of their number of breaches that they're pushing out or committing across the globe. Now, it is said that the target was the cloud-based system, customer systems, and the platform like Salesforce was also part of the reconnaissance because Salesforce was previously hacked, and that data could have been used or garnered from, our credentials could have been used from the hack that took place with Salesforce. But the data set here included 2.1 million records of customers, colleagues email address, customers email address, physical address, and other information regarding the customer records and the customer tickets. Now, the impact here, as you can tell, is huge because it's a reputational damage and it's a potential downstream issue with regards to phishing. What are some of the countermeasures that they could put in place here, or similar competitors could put in place? Improve monitoring on all accounts and look for account takeover and data exfiltration. And data exfiltration is data leaving the business in a malicious way, an unauthorized way. strengthen their identity and access management system. And this cannot be overemphasized as it relates to multi-factor authentication, and make that layer of security stronger at every point of connection throughout the system. Enforce password resets and session validation. So whatever session that user is in, make sure that that session is valid as it relates to the user that's been verified to use that session or use that system or resources. That's breach number 2. Breach number 3 is the university, the university system, the platform that's been used by, which is produced by Instructure, which is a Canvas learning platform. It also has been suffering from an attack by from shiny hunters. Again, they've exploited a vulnerability. It's not clear what the vulnerability is as yet, but it's been investigated. But so far, they've said that the attack compromise and gain access to a third-party API integration system, and then moved on to actually compromise API keys that gives them access to other aspect of their ecosystem. Now, the impact here and the what we call blast radius included top universities across the world. Over 15,000 universities has been impacted, but Harvard, University of Oxford, University of Cambridge, University of Malvern in Australia, and all of those top universities have been affected. It is also said that over 3.65 terabytes of data, including 275 million records were stolen, which contains billions of messages between students and lecturers. Now that's huge. And this covers the continent of Europe, the Americas, and all over. So it's a very global impact that it has here. Now, what are some of the countermeasures? Rotate internal secrets and secret keys that are being used in these API integration layers. Encrypt data at rest and data in transit, because if it's encrypted, it's harder and it takes longer for the attacker to encrypt that and get to decrypt that and get to the real data behind that encryption. Patch and update all systems and make sure that you do that on a regular basis. As it relates to takeaway for stakeholders, make sure that you vet third parties, not just third parties as a business, but third party systems, third party APIs. Make sure that you patch and maintain a good patch regime or update regime to make sure that your security is intact. And I'll see you next week. Please remember to follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and please visit our website for more information on all things cybersecurity. See you. Have a good weekend. Bye.